Welcome back to Learners Academy. I'm Mona Bhatia and I'm going to give you explanation of the poem Somebody's Mother by Mary Dow Bryan. Now let's have a look at the poem. Here is the explanation of the poem Somebody's Mother. The woman was old and ragged and grey. The first line describes the woman who was old. She was ragged, means she was wearing old and torn clothes, and she had grey hair. And bent with the chill of the winter's day, her back was little bent, maybe because of the cold of the winters. The streets were wet with the recent snow. The streets were covered with the recent snowfall. And the woman's feet with age were slow. Her feet were slow, means she was not able to walk fast on the slippery road. At the crowded crossing she waited long. The old woman waited for a long time, jostled aside by the careless throng. Jostled means pushed, alright, and throng means crowd. She was pushed aside by the crowd. She was trying to cross the road, but she was pushed by the careless people. Of human beings who passed her by, unheeding the glance of her anxious eyes. She was avoided by the people. They even ignored the anxious look in her eyes. Down the street with laughter and shout, glad in the afternoon in the freedom of school let out. Then the schoolboys rushed out. They were all very happy because of the freedom they once got after the school gets over, and they were allowed to go back home. All the boys came out together like a flock of sheep. Came happy boys like a flock of sheep, hailing the snow piled white and deep. They were all happy to see the snow piled up on the street. Hailing means they were welcoming the snow. Past the women so old and grey. They were also happy. They were so all engrossed in this welcoming the snowfall, that on their way back that they just passed the old woman. They didn't pay attention to her. Hastened the children on their way. They just went on quickly. None offered a helping hand to her, so weak, so timid, afraid to stir. None of the boy gave a helping hand to her. That means boys did not stop and offer the woman any help. She was scared. She was so timid. She was so weak also to move on to the slippery road. The streets were slippery and the old woman was afraid of crossing it, and moreover she was old and hence could not move fast and was scared of the traffic of horses and carriages. She was getting scared that she would be trampled by the oncoming traffic. Alright, trample means tread on or crush. At last came out of the merry troop the gayest boy of all the group. At last, from that happy troop of the boys, one boy noticed her, and he came out and whispered to the old woman. He paused beside her and whispered, "Lo, I'll help you cross if you wish to go." So he said that he will help her cross if she wants to. Her aged hand on his strong young arm she placed. So after she was offered help, she placed her old hand on his young strong arm. He took her old hand in his strong arm and he guided her trembling feet. He guided and he placed held the old arm without harming or hurting her because she was so frail. Now he guided the trembling feet along without harming or hurting her. He guided her across the road. He was proud that his feet were strong and young, proud that his own were firm and strong. Then back again to his friend he went. After taking her across the road, he went back to his friends. He was very happy, very contented, and that he has done a good job of helping an old woman. She's somebody's mother, boys, for all she's aged and poor and slow. He then explains it to the other boys that the old lady must be somebody's old mother, though she was now old and poor and slow. And I hope some fellow will lend a hand. He did this in anticipation that one day, because he had an intention, that he did help her with an intention that one day, sometime, somebody may lend a helping hand to his mother also, when his mother would be old and helpless, and if ever she is poor, old and grey. That means if at all her mother is poor and also old and also turned with has got a grey hair, and when her own dear boy is far away, that means when he's not around to help his own mother, and he might be away from his mother, then somebody would lend a hand. And somebody's mother bowed low her head. That night the old lady, who was helped by the boy, she also bowed low her head. She prayed for that boy, asking God to be kind to that boy in her home that night. And the prayer she said, what prayer she said? She asked the God to be kind to that boy who was somebody's son and who's somebody's pride and joy. So this poem conveys the message that how compassion can make this world a better place to live in, and one good turn deserves another. To understand the poem in a better way, let's answer a few questions. The first question is, we must help others. Justify. And do you help others? We must help others because, we too may need somebody's help one day. We must show compassion to those who are in need, and helping others gives us joy, and helping others create a positivity and compassion in the world. It's like one good turn deserves another. Guess the setting, the region, the locality, and the time of the year in this poem. So the setting and of the poem is a busy street with freshly fallen snow gathered up on it, and the streets are slippery, and there's a crowd all over, and there is a school down the street from where the children are coming out. This is the setting of the poem. The region. Now this region must be a cold region where snowfall occurs, and it is the time of winter. Alright, the time of the year is winter, and the time of the day would be post noon, because there's a mention of the school let out. That means school gets over by afternoon. Alright, and do you believe in kindness? Yes, I believe in kindness because kindness has a positive effect on everybody. Even if somebody doesn't help you, you should help that person. Alright? When you smile at someone, the person will smile back you. Again, if you help somebody, that person will one day definitely help you when you are in need. Even if that person is not able to give you help, somebody else will be there to help you. So you will not be a negative person who is able to help somebody but doesn't want to. That's a very stupid situation. So, and in this way, happiness and joy multiplies, and there is a rippling effect. Similarly, an act of kindness will spread and multiply and will make this world a better place to live. Now we move on to the topic figures of speech. I've already highlighted and underlined few figures of speech, and I'm going to take them one by one. The first line says, the woman was old and ragged and grey. There you can see one repetition of the word and. So the figure of speech is repetition. Whenever a word is repeated for better poetic effect, for musical effect, that figure of speech is called repetition. And here the word old and grey, both of these words means the same thing. Old and grey, both of these words means the same things. That means the figure of speech here is tautology. Now we move on to the second stanza. At the crowded crossing she waited long. Now there is an inversion in this poem. the correct prose order should have been she waited long at the crowded crossing. So here the figure of speech is inversion. Now in the last line of this stanza you can see anxious eyes. That means there is a synecdoche here. What is synecdoche? When the part of something is represented by the whole, or the whole of something is represented by the part, that figure of speech is called synecdoche. Unheeding the glance of her anxious eyes. That means not only her eyes were anxious, she was anxious. The whole old woman was anxious. Alright, so her eyes are representing the old woman. Now we move on to the third stanza. You see this green color, like a flock of sheep. So whenever we have a word like or as, and whenever there is a direct comparison, two unlike things are compared using the word as or like, then the figure of speech here is simile. Like a flock of sheep. The boys were compared to the flock of sheep. Now the last line of this stanza has hasten the children on their way. Again there is an inversion here, and the correct prose order should have been the children on their way hastened. Alright, the children on their way hastened. None offered a helping hand to her, so weak, so timid. So there is a repetition here. Alright, now we move on to the last line of this slide. There is a alliteration here. The sound of letter S is repeated. So the figure of speech here is alliteration. Continuing with the figures of speech in this slide. Look at this line. She placed and so without hurt or harm. The letter H is repeated here. So the figure of speech is alliteration. Now he guided the trembling feet along. So there is a synecdoche here. Why? Because the feet is a part that stands for the woman as a whole. He guided the woman, not only the trembling feet. So the figure of speech here is synecdoche. Now we move on to the next figure of speech. Then back again to his friend he went. Now there is an inversion here. The correct prose order should have been he then went back again to his friend. Should have been the correct prose order. Now the next line has got again the repetition of letter H. So the sound is repeated again. The figure of speech here is alliteration. But there is one more figure of speech here in this line, which is synecdoche. The heart, happy heart. So the heart stands for the young boy. Heart is a part and the young boy is a whole. So the boy is happy and contented, not just his heart. Now we move on to the next figure of speech. Here you can see for all she's aged, poor and slow. So there are three qualities describing word for the old woman, and that is aged, poor and slow. The figure of speech here is climax, because the adjectives used for the women are arranged in the order to create an increasing order of helplessness of that woman, old woman. Now when we move on to the next stanza, the first line has got inversion again, and somebody's mother bowed low her head. The correct prose order should have been somebody's mother bowed her head low. Somebody's mother bowed her head low. Bowed her head low. Alright, so this was all about the figures of speech, and we'll move on to the next topic. Critical appreciation of the poem. The title of the poem is Somebody's Mother, and the author is Mary Dow Bryan. The author Mary Dow Bryan has given a very apt title to the poem and conveys the message that how compassion can make the world a better place to live in. Now the next topic is rhyme scheme. The rhyme scheme of the whole poem is AABB. But there is a discrepancy in the poem, the way it is written. The first, second, fourth, fifth, and eighth stanzas have 4 lines and they follow the rhyme scheme of AABB, while the third, sixth, and seventh stanza have 6 lines each and has a rhyme scheme of AABBCC. Alright, the next topic is figures of speech. The poet has used various figures of speech to enhance and portray her feelings, like simile is used in came happy boys like a flock of sheep. Inversion is used in the line somebody's mother bowed low her head. Hasten the children on their way. Now alliteration is used in the line she placed and so without hurt or harm. Now synecdoche is also used in he guided the trembling feet along. The woman's whole body was trembling, not just the feet. Alright. His young heart happy and well content. The heart stands for the whole boy. The boy is happy and well content, not just the heart alone. Alright. Now there is a climax also used in this poem. For all she's aged, poor and slow. The words aged, poor and slow are used to create an increasing effect of that old woman's helplessness. Now the central idea or theme of the poem. The theme of the poem is that everybody should help those who are in need of help, irrespective of the fact whether we know them or not. We should help even an unknown person and take the responsibility and should not be afraid, because if we help others, someday somebody will do the needful to us also. We'll also receive the same help from unknown people. It is give and take type of situation. What goes around comes around. Now, why I like or dislike this poem? I like this poem as it teaches us how everybody should help those who are in need of help, and if we all behave in such a compassionate manner, the world will soon become a better place to live in. No man is an island. Everybody needs help of other people, one day or the other. And by helping others, we are actually helping our own selves. That's all about the critical appreciation, and that's all about this poem. Keep watching Learners Academy. We are going to upload few new poems and keep learning. Thank you very much.